Peace team, here's some minor 7 chord ideas, construction, and major 7 chord construction ideas, also the dominant 7 with altered notes. So let's say we have a C minor 7 chord. So we know our C minor from the 5-finger pattern. So what we do is we think, okay, I'm looking for the minor 7 part of the chord. So we can think from C down 2 half steps. Think a major triad from that. And that gives us the 1 flat 7, gives us the 9th and the 11th. But you can also play using the 5-finger pattern. So you have your minor in here, but now and you're constructing the chord, so you can create the sound you want. So a minor 7 chord could be this, because we're just using the major triad a whole step down, which is 2 half steps. And that's the construction for all the minor 7 chords and all the keys of the 5-finger patterns. And that's why we learn the 5-finger patterns, because we can play it a minor 7 chord in all keys now. Okay, so the major 7 construction, let's say A major 7, we know our A major triad from the 5-finger pattern. We're going to find our major 7 note in the, if we think up a 5th degree, 1 2 3 4 5, that would be E. So we're going to have we have an E major triad. So we can put the third of the E major triad below to get the major 7 sound, and then we just play the other notes. So that's basically how we can think of that real quick. And when we're playing major 7 chords, we would think that we could use the 4th degree because we learned it in the 5-finger pattern, but we got to be careful of it because the 4th degree wants to resolve to the 3rd degree. So if we ever have a chance to play something, just try to avoid the 4th degree when you're playing the chord, unless you're creating that effect. Now also, if you're soloing, instead of thinking of the 4th degree, there's an approach called the Lydian approach, where you're able to avoid that 4 to major 3rd resolution need by creating sort of a more suspended, we're still in the chord vibe, by making a sharp 4. So it's the sharp 4. So we just basically try to avoid the 4th on that chord, and you can play it. Now the 9th, the 2nd degree, it's called the 9th also, is found in our up a 5th major triad. So we can think of those notes, if we can think of it that way, as you have your A, your root, and your 5th, and then you have these other notes, which is basically the 5th scale degree of the 5-finger pattern, that triad. So you can get creative with it. So it basically opens up an entire world that works for all the keys. And registers change a bit. It's a puzzle. It's something that we're solving. It's a puzzle, and it takes time. And it's about the journey, not the destination. Practicing one day at a time. Nobody has a monopoly on sayings or things that we do musically. That's a very important thing. Everybody likes to claim sayings, and as with anything, it being a love mission, what you're doing to get yourself back to you. As they say, it creates new freedom in your life to get back to the moment. And freedom is not about claiming; it's about practicing. We practice freedom. We don't claim it. We talk about it, but it's all about it's not just a concept. It's something that we're doing. So we're freeing ourselves up. We're creating freedom in our life by learning about this stuff. All right. So then the altered chord. The altered chord is when you see a C7 chord. The seventh chord is generally, and it's the same thing. You find the seventh in the two half steps down from the root note of C, but the seventh chord is a major chord, and it's traditional in all music. In jazz, though, the dominant seventh chord is often played with an altered note, a couple altered notes. The way I like to construct the chords using the 5-finger pattern is we're looking for the third degree, which we know, third degree, the flat 7, which we can think of as two half step down from the root. Okay, we got those notes. Now what we're going to think is up a flat 6 or up a sharp 5. So if we know these notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then up one half step is a major triad. So this would be A flat major triad. So okay, great, we got that note. So we got that chord. So we piece it all together now. Major third, flat 7, and then we can just play the notes in different places, and you have your A flat major triad. And that's how I create the altered sound for the dominant seventh chord. There are different ways depending on what the melody is. What a friend was saying one time about which notes you want to play, but that's the basic idea, is that when you're looking for a C altered chord, seventh altered chord, major third, flat 7, and then you're thinking, okay, up a flat 6 major chord. Okay. Also, remember, for any embellishments, you can play the 5-finger pattern. And it's often resolving to the if it's the fifth note, if it's a dominant chord, it's what's called a dominant chord, dominant altered chord, it's usually going to resolve back to a 1. So this becomes the 5 of another key. Cool. All right, so I hope that helped, because certainly that's what we're trying to do, is help each other. And be encouraged in your practice, one segment at a time, whatever it might be. Constructing chords, you can create your own practice sessions, maybe create a couple months of ideas, take your time, and renewing and reoxygenating the blood in your system, and peace be with you.